Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sidebar,
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
the new look sidebar. Since we're using different streaming software now, chat, you'll notice you're now prominently displayed on the screen. A much better part of the show now. Who's out there tonight? Since we have a moment, we have Tim and Wahoo and Grandma TCF and Nina. Great Granny's here. Good to have y'all with us tonight. So I do, before we get before we get started, I want to direct your attention to the pinned chat. If you watched the trial this morning, you'll like that little piece of merch that we designed. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a particularly hard one to hide my frustration at my desk.
all right.
My true crime podcast was getting a little frustrating this morning.
I understand.
Wahoo,
I
I like the new
lost
format,
audio for a
too.
minute.
Oh.
All right, I'm back. I lost
Hear ya.
audio for a second on my end, and it has nothing to do with Restream. It has to do with another stupid program that I have to fix.
Okay.
But anywho, so look, chat, you drive the show tonight. So you need to tell us what we're going to talk about, or we're just going to sit here and do like nothing. And that will be sad. So Wahoo likes where neighbors press charges. Glad you like the merch. Be sure to pick it up. Support the show. Well, we can start while we're waiting for people to give us ideas. We can start with that topic, that stupid trial this morning.
People need hobbies.
Right?
Like
hobbies that aren't.
if they had jobs, they wouldn't
Well,
have
that
that
looked like
problem.
they were of retirement age, so maybe that's where the lack
Right.
of jobs was coming
Maybe
in.
maybe hobbies
Could
is
be.
a better word.
Yeah. But go volunteer. Go pet cats or read to kids or.
And be nice to your neighbors if you
or
can.
pet kids and read to cats or something.
You know, whatever floats your boat. Just.
Yep.
No, that was so sad and pathetic. Just the amount of time wasted for that court. And you could see
Yeah.
Mercer a few times just like, please get me out of here.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
It's like there are actual crimes that we could be trying right now.
yeah, but
this
he has
is the
to
one
do
that
it.
goes to bench trial.
Yep.
Well, but he has to do it. So what do you do? All right, we've got a couple of ideas rolling in here. Let me take
Okay.
notes before I lose them in the chat. What are some good examples of what is considered an improper argument? Honestly, Austin, you're probably the best one to start us off on that, given your background.
An improper argument could be something that you know is against the law, but you're just trying to get something through, I would think. Even like, I don't have an example at the moment. Improper argument, or if you know it's against the law or against the attorney ethics or anything like that.
Okay. So if an attorney, let me ask you this, if an attorney knew that his client was lying about something, but he questioned in such a way that it supported that lie, would that be improper?
I would think so, yes.
Okay. Interesting.
I can see him doing that though.
But on the other hand, if the client came to the attorney and said, yes, I did XYZ, the attorney cannot turn him in for that because that's confidential client confidentiality. And then the attorney could get in trouble.
But yet we've seen in Florida, or not Florida, in Texas, in Judge Boyd's court, where that one guy turned in his client because his client made the whole "there's going to be dead bodies" statement.
Yes, that there are very few exceptions to that, and I believe that one would have been one of them.
Yeah,
Where-
I'm still not convinced that was right.
Yeah.
Saying there'll be dead bodies everywhere, though, is kind of. It's
It's an
weird.
implied threat.
It's a little weird.
I'm not
Yeah.
even sure if it's an implied threat. I think it's just a threat.
Yep.
I think you're just saying.
Yeah. But he didn't specific. It wasn't specific enough to be a true threat, though.
True, I guess.
Yep.
Like.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good.
No, I was just going to say Beth just did some research for us, got us some examples of improper arguments.
Ta-da!
Okay.
Thanks, Beth.
So one is the golden rule argument. This occurs when an attorney asks the jurors to put themselves in the shoes of one of the parties.
Oh.
Improper. Imagine how you would feel if you were the victim and someone broke into your home while you were sleeping. Another one,
Okay.
vouching and personal opinion. Attorneys are prohibited from
Yep.
personally vouching for a witness's credibility or expressing their own personal belief in the defendant's guilt or innocence. Example, I've been a prosecutor for 15 years and I've never seen a more honest witness than Mr. Smith.
Interesting.
Arguing facts. That's weird. My lights just went kitty wonkus. We can't have a show without some kind of tech issue. It's insane. Hold on. I've got two studio lights that point at me and they're adjustable, but one of them just went to like this warm yellow. All right, it's fixed. All right. Number
Must
3,
have
arguing fact. Right. Arguing facts not in evidence. It's improper to refer to facts, reports, or physical evidence that were actually introduced during the trial. Example, there are medical reports I couldn't show you that prove this injury is permanent.
Oh.
We saw both
Number
of those,
4
the last two today, I believe,
Yeah.
See,
during
I
the
feel
trial.
like whenever you see trials on TV, like your court dramas, like I feel like that's what they're doing. Like they're literally giving these improper arguments as like their statements.
Yep.
Which
Well,
maybe that's the theatrics of it all, but
Yeah, the people writing them aren't lawyers.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like it's like court LARPing.
Yep.
Inflammatory or prejudicial remarks. Arguments designed to incite prejudice based on race, religion, origin, socioeconomic status are strictly prohibited. Example, referring to a defendant as a thug, parasite, or dog. Number 5, commenting on the defendant's silence. In criminal cases, if a prosecutor cannot comment on a defendant's decision not to testify, violates the Fifth Amendment. Example, if the defendant were truly innocent, he would have taken the stand to tell his side of the story. Number 6, shifting the burden of proof. In criminal trials, the state carries the entire burden of proof. Any argument suggesting the defendant must prove their innocence is improper.
Yep.
Example, the defense hasn't brought you any evidence to prove he wasn't at the scene. And then finally, personal attacks on opposing counsel. Attorney must address the arguments and evidence, not the character of the opposing lawyer. Example, your defense attorney is just trying to use smoke and mirrors to trick you because they know their client is guilty. So thank you, Beth.
You're welcome.
This is why you need to be in the studio all the time, so we can do research and stuff like that. Very helpful. All right, so that addresses the improper argument thing. Grandma TCF wanted to know what we could do what could be done to address the stigma of mental health.
That's a really challenging one. I think the biggest thing
Yeah.
you can do is education
Yep.
around like widespread community education around what behaviors you might see from someone experiencing different mental health, either episodes or just like what symptoms coincide with what conditions.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I think a lot of the behaviors you see, and especially the ones you would see happening in a court, are just ones that cause our natural instincts to go, oh my God, like this person's nuts, which, that's honestly
I
a true
had
opinion in that case, but yeah.
Yeah, I had there's somebody I knew in high school that was bipolar.
Yeah.
And at the time everybody kind of made fun of him because, he was kind of weird because he rode my bus, right? And
Mhm.
some days he would be perfectly normal and fine, and then other days he would just kind of be off the hinge and
Yeah.
be angry and
Yep.
stuff like that. So everybody thought he didn't have that emotional control and made fun of
Mhm.
him. But it wasn't until like, yeah, the bus driver said something that, hey, lay off, he is bipolar, and that's not nice.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
kind of where, oh, you shouldn't make fun of people anyway, but
Right.
it's just, yeah, it's
You know,
just that first
another
moment.
good example you kind of see is forgetfulness, or just kind of inability to complete tasks is also a known symptom of ADHD. And so, like, well, why didn't you do this? I don't know. And like, they truly don't, because something's misfiring. And it's really easy to go, oh my God, you lazy POS. And it's like, no,
Right.
actually, the neurons aren't neuroning.
Especially in
Sometimes they are
school.
just, lazy and irresponsible, but other times,
I
like,
know
you
back
see
in
otherwise very competent people. Like, why
Mhm.
didn't you just turn that form in? Because my brain told
Right.
me I couldn't.
Memory issues as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
In grade school, that's what happened. Like there would be kids that are acting up and like not doing what they're supposed to do. But I feel like some of those kids had perhaps some kind of learning disability, some kind of ADHD or something going on as well. I don't think it was entirely their fault all the time.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Hmm.
We talk about the stigma of mental health, but honestly, I think the biggest issue, and we see this in court all the time, is it's the completely wrong institutions that are handling it.
Yeah, that's
Agreed.
true.
The
legal
police
system,
don't need to be
rather.
handling it. The
Yeah.
courts don't need to be handling it. The prisons and jails most certainly don't need to be handling it. But
Yeah.
we've been through this before, where we know that starting in the 70s and carried on into the 80s, so it wasn't even a Republican or a Democrat thing. It crossed both parties. There was
Yeah.
just this systematic elimination of mental health care, and
Mhm.
now here we are with
Yeah.
these people not getting the help they need. They're walking the streets many times. They're heavy into drugs, and we keep creating a society that makes it even harder
Yeah.
for these people and
sometimes
more
homeless, too.
likely to have mental problems.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Yep.
oftentimes too, they might have turned to the drugs as a way of self-medicating around these conditions, but they can either exacerbate said conditions, or in some cases kind of bring on
Bring them on.
new, fun, different symptoms. Like they weren't seeing things before. Now they're seeing things. Hallucinations enter the chat. Yeah, it makes it trickier. For sure. And we've seen some larger cities start to introduce these kind of community resource officers who are maybe a little bit more trained in the social work and kind of mental health skills of it all, that come in and maybe try to de-escalate before a police officer who might not have that training come.
Yeah.
Right.
Where it's good to see that kind of investment, but you really got to be careful where you send them, because if that said person has a gun, and it's a whole different scenario.
Lindsay, didn't you say that there were like people on your trains up there
Yeah,
that are looking out for those people?
Yes and no. So the transit authority here, Metro Transit, has like trip agents that come on, and like and Metro Transit has its own police force as well. And they'll come on and like they'll just kind of check on folks and like de-escalate certain situations before you get actual Minneapolis and St. Paul PD involved in whatever's happening. And 9 times out of 10, it's just like, hey, Metro Police, you good? You good? Just give them a little shoulder shake if they're sleeping, and just make sure that they're just sleeping. Yeah, Wahoo brings up a good point too. Sometimes medications can cause disorientation in the courtroom environment, which can lead us to further kind of judge or further stigma.
Yeah.
Or alcohol, as we saw in McNally's court recently.
Yeah, some might say that's her medicine.
She blew a 166 before court.
Holy
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was special. And then the person who brought her to court was the 10th cousin of Donald Trump, she said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she was fine. No effects whatsoever of her all-night drinking binge. All right, what's else is on our list? So yeah, Mom, to answer your question, there's really no answer to your question other than I think it's the completely wrong people that are handling it.
Yeah. Education and the right people
Yeah.
handling these things.
Bench trials versus jury trials. Which do we prefer and why? I'll tell you from a production standpoint here, I prefer the bench trials because they go faster and I can get them into the show.
Yeah.
Where jury trials can go on forever, which is why I
True.
don't really go there too often here because we can get down a rabbit hole that can go for days if we're not careful.
Yeah.
Which we just don't have.
The one benefit to a jury trial, and that's if they show it. I know when Judge Fleischer was still streaming, he actually like left the camera on for the voir dire and like the jury selection. And that was really, really interesting to see all the attorneys do their thing and how they kind of approach questioning and seeing like picking with prospective jurors. And it was really, really cool to watch.
Yep. That is a really interesting process.
Yeah. I haven't seen, and granted, I think because Dan says he doesn't go to them, and I don't think many other judges stream it, but it was really cool that we got the opportunity to kind of be the fly on the wall, if you will, during that.
I think my favorite would be jury trials as well, just because they're more. I mean, bench trials are okay and all, and I know the judge is making the decision, but it seems like in jury trials, it kind of works out. It does what it needs to do, and the right decision's made. So I like jury trials personally.
Yeah, I just like to see things go to trial, frankly. Like, I think we see so many plea deals, which, you know, in some cases, that's absolutely what needs to happen because the person clearly knows they're guilty. So let's just get it over with. But, you know, any kind of trial, anytime we see the system in action. Sorry, Austin, I cut you off.
Nope, you're good. I was saying just get the best deal you can.
Yeah.
I meant to say that in my brain and it came out.
It's all good.
So Wahoo said he'd like to see some jury selections. I've shown him once or twice. I'll keep an eye out for more. Judge Brantley Clark down in Florida, he streams his jury selections, but the audio isn't always the best.
Yeah, that was the tricky part.
That's the trick there. Judge West has streamed a couple, but it's all on how they're positioned again. So it can be a hard thing for us to do because a lot of it we don't hear. It was nice when we had Fleischer because I caught a couple of them when he was doing them.
Yeah.
And things were positioned well enough you could usually hear, but I'll keep an eye out, Wahoo. Does pro se ever make sense? I can think of one example, and Beth, you'll back me up on this. The latest season of Lincoln Lawyer. He was mostly pro se and he won. But short of fiction?
But to say, meanwhile, in real court?
Yeah.
No,
I can't think of a time. I mean, unless you're talking about a traffic ticket where you're just ripping the cop apart.
Yep.
I can't think of a time where it made any sense that we've seen.
I don't doubt there are people out there who are highly capable of going pro se, but I also think that level of intelligence lends itself to being willing to accept the help of the professional.
Yeah.
In that case, unless you really ended up with you're just a smart person in a particularly bad financial place and ended up with a terrible public defender.
Well, if we keep an eye on Jackson County, I think he's going to Judge Garcia, that dude who is the secret California DA.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Who guarantees that he's the best lawyer in the country.
Yes.
So if he does go pro se,
he's an undercover lawyer.
Oh, it's undercover DA. That's what it is.
Yep.
Yes. I don't know what that is.
Talk about the stigma around mental illness. I think that's another reason why we end up with some stigmas is because you see stuff like that. And that guy's fully sanguine and saying these things. And we're just like, huh?
Some of the stuff though, all you can do is just kind of laugh and
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
But
what else are you gonna do?
it slows down the court system so much though when they do
Mhm.
their stuff.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
they just they just make a mockery of court in a
They
way.
do. They do.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Especially if we start looking at the sob sit angle of going pro se because they're the living man or whatever their language is. I'm too tired to mimic it tonight, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't need a lawyer because I'm not a citizen. Whatever their angle is, like that just
Lindsay is not tired. Lindsay's corporate fiction is overworked. There, I did it for you.
The corporate entity is exhausted from the corporate
Yeah,
and the
because
corporate
it's been too corporate all day long.
and the corporate job and the corporate herding cats
And the
to
traveling to and from work.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. I wouldn't want to do it. All right. So yeah, I don't think pro se ever makes sense ever.
Nope.
Yeah. No.
Unless it's like a
Can't-
real low scale traffic ticket and the cop just was
Yeah.
trying to hit their quota and you've got everything you need. That's the only time.
Nina wants to know, why do so many judges just let sob sits go on and on?
Because they're streaming their hearings and they know that we eat that shit up.
And
Entertainment
soft
value.
and they have go on and on. Okay. So yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with you guys. I was thinking
Yep.
about rights, but even lawyers don't go on and on like soft sits do.
Yeah.
For about the first 5 minutes, that's where the rights stop. After that,
Right.
with
Yeah,
those,
I think
Yeah.
Look,
no, Great Granny,
the right
that's
to be
true.
your
They
own
really
attorney.
do believe what they're saying, Granny. Like it's unreal. They believe it wholeheartedly.
that in and of itself has to be some form of mental illness, because
probably
there's
is.
nothing real about their arguments. They're not
Yep.
grounded in any truth whatsoever.
Narcissism is one of the qualities of a soft sit,
Yeah.
but there's something else there that's definitely beyond comprehension.
There's definitely some
I don't-
mania, I think, involved too, and the delusions of grandeur that come with all that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say for the record that we are not medical professionals. These are not diagnoses, just our own opinions.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking, we had Fleischer quit streaming, and by the way, he showed up for 2 days and then never came back. So I think he
Mhm.
was testing the waters, maybe.
Oh.
But anyways, he got taken down because everybody was complaining about how he was just showboating and stuff. But there's probably a little bit of truth to that, especially when it comes to sob sits, because as you put it, Lindsay, they all know they're streaming and that stuff sells.
Mhm.
And yeah, I wonder, it's weird because I was going to say, I wonder how strong that movement would be if there wasn't streaming and they weren't seeing it. But
Yeah.
man, you would think these people would watch their own hearings and just finally realize, yeah, that just doesn't work. Because
That's assuming they're in their right minds, though, Dan.
Yeah, that's true. Because we haven't seen a single one, not one, where even a portion of the argument, the
Right.
judge has gone, yeah, you got a point there. Not
Yep.
once.
No. Not
Maybe
one.
the Fleischer one was the closest one.
Which Fleischer one? He's had a few.
There's one in particular. I'm trying to
Is
think
it the
of
one where he
details.
cheered, "I've always wanted one of these"?
Yes, that one.
Yeah. That was my favorite one.
And he actually, Fleischer was very respectful toward him too. I liked how he handled it. But
Yep.
that guy didn't seem like off his rocker either, though. The ones that we've seen lately have been off their rocker. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Charging minors as adults. Do we think that should happen?
We've had that on Sidebar. Remember the one with the kid that
Yeah.
I don't know. They
The kid who did things to
their
other kids.
sibling, yeah, that thing.
Phrase
yes.
it like that. Yeah.
Yes. The kid that did things to other kids while they were 14.
Yeah.
So we talked about that. That was a tough one that we talked about.
Yeah. I have very mixed feelings on this.
Yeah.
You guys, I've
Yep.
been on record about how I hate the idea of wasting the young.
Yeah.
And I think there needs to be every effort given to catch them in that moment and fix them,
Yeah.
because the brain is still moldable.
Yeah.
Yes.
shouldn't have gotten
And
that
that might
far.
just very well mean that they never see their families again, because their families have failed them more than likely. But what do you do with the kid who kills his whole family? Is that a savable situation?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like my logical brain goes, I wish if we're gonna do it, let's just decide whether we are or aren't gonna do it and like draw that line in the sand. But I think it has to be such a case by case basis.
That's
Yeah,
what Great Granny just said.
Yeah, exactly.
There's some children like detachment disorders and stuff. I think during that sidebar, but there are mental illnesses that cause kids to do this kind of thing. And it's a case by case basis for sure. It depends on motive.
Mhm.
Yep.
Lots, and if there isn't a motive, then it sounds like it's hinting more toward a mental illness.
Yep.
Yeah, mental illness. But to play the guy with faith card, I think some of it is demonic.
Yeah, perhaps.
You know, just some of it you're not gonna fix with drugs and counseling. It's just it's not gonna work. But yeah, I think case by case is probably the best way to go. I think you have to see if there's anything at all that can be done to save that young person while they're still moldable. But you know, I guess sometimes there's not going to be.
The trouble sometimes too at some of the youth courts, and it's something we've seen quite a bit up here, is that below some ages, there's just not even something to catch them, because you don't anticipate kids that young ending up in a criminal system. Like I think I told the story on another show, like there's an 11-year-old who as a 9-year-old was already well known to local authorities. And there's really nothing we can do. You know, there used to be group homes we could send these kids to, but those group homes don't exist anymore. And like, we can't charge him because he's 9, you know, like you just kind of have to wait till he's 13 and then we can start putting him through the system. It's horrible. It's horrible. But yeah.
Great Granny says mental illness is
agreed.
I agree.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, because
I agree. I think they should serve out their time. Yeah.
Yeah, regardless of your mental state, there's also agency.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
You have to be held accountable for what you do. I mean, you know, and
unless you're so far gone that you're not there, then get treated and then serve the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you know, we have these competency hearings, but if they're found incompetent, it's not like everything just stops. They work to restore the competence and then fry them.
Yeah.
So, you know,
yeah.
We need more topics. Give us something. Come on, people. It's your show tonight. But now I got to admit, while we're waiting for the next topic, I'm a little bit saddened by all of this. Whenever we start talking about kids and crime, it bothers me. But I'll get over it. Do we prefer someone like Judge O'Donnell or Oakley, or someone a bit softer? Oh, we prefer O'Donnell and Oakley.
Yep.
Number
Yeah.
one, from a channel standpoint, the entertainment value. But I don't know about the rest of my panelists here, but I love the bluntness.
What I love about Judge O'Donnell. Sorry, Austin, I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
What
I
I
was
love
gonna
about
say-
Judge O'Donnell. We're so bad at this.
All right.
You go first, Austin.
I like how they're nice and blunt, but then I also like how Simpson does it, where he starts off really calm and quiet, and then if he needs to, he gets
Mhm.
more aggressive. I don't know if that's the right way to say it.
Assertive.
Assertive. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
What I love about Judge O'Donnell is just the pure, almost interrogation that he gives. Just like why'd you do that? Who's this guy? Like just like the questions. Like he asks them so quickly, he doesn't give them time to ramble too much.
Right.
And really just kind of elicits that, like you just have to blurt it out. Like you don't have time to like world build with him. I think what I appreciate is just the different personalities in general. Like I appreciate Judge Oakley because he's got that like, blunt dad. I appreciate Judge O'Donnell because he's going to 20 questions you to a confession. I appreciate a Judge Boyd just in the, here's the thing, like when she lays that out for you.
Yep.
So yeah, I appreciate all personalities of judges, but as far as like ones that are more compelling to watch, I think the more direct approaches tend to be, we learn more. Yep. I think.
Yeah. I agree. I like the different personalities of the judges. So it depends on what mood I'm in too. Like I might want somebody more direct, and I'll know that judge is more direct. Or there might be like a judge that is softer. I do like, oh my gosh, his name just slipped. Hold on. Judge Mercer. I like him a lot. He's not really direct like Judge O'Donnell or Judge Oakley. He has a softer tone. But he seems more people invested in that way.
Or we have the Reno judge. Is it Judge O'Neill, the one who reminds me of the kindergarten teacher?
Yeah,
I
like her
because,
too. Yeah, I like her too.
Sweet in those moments. Like she's not like coddly, but it's like,
Uh-oh.
We lost Lindsay.
Uh-oh.
And she's back.
That was weird. It looked like you guys were gone.
I think your connection flaked out.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Or you hit the exit button accidentally.
Yep.
We're still learning what all the keys do here. What is it? Spacebar shuts off your camera, we figured out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
M mutes you. I know that.
Mutes
I don't know
and
what
unmutes.
I don't know what the emergency escape button is.
Escape.
But you found
Whatever
it.
I just hit.
The
Yeah.
power button.
Power button.
Oddly enough, it is when a corgi appeared and dropped a toy at my feet. So what did you do? Hey, get out of it. Anyway.
You were
Forgot
on
where
a
I was.
roll, Lindsay.
I
You were
forgot where I
saying,
was.
you
Anyway.
were saying Judge O'Neill. Judge O'Neill.
Yeah, she's not like coddly, but it's like you're less terrified in your first appearance because like, oh, my kindergarten teacher's arraigning me. Okay. But she still gets the job done.
Actually, Judge O'Neill is a interesting judge to me because she is not harsh at all.
No.
But it's like she's respected as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And usually you don't think soft judges are respected, but she is totally respected by everyone, which is amazing. I love that.
Like it'd be like sassing your kindergarten teacher, which we all did in our day, but the nostalgia of it all.
Yeah.
I got to put this back. There we go.
Dan's like, something's wrong.
Got used to where people were. No, Mercer, to me, to go back to him real quick, is really weird. He's like kind but deadly. I always
Mhm.
appreciate the fact that he involves the families that are in the court. If you have family members in court, you go to the head of the line. He addresses them, makes sure their questions are answered, all of that kind of stuff. But he's also like, all right, your bond's $50,000. Wish you the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He throws out some massive size bonds and stuff sometimes too.
March 5th at 8 a.m. March 5th at 8 a.m. March 5th at 8 a.m. That was him.
He's very passive with that. O'Neill and Judge Oakley, they're like, they scrutinize that person in a way that is like, okay, you did wrong. What are you going to do to fix it? Fix it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you get this. That type of thing. Very procedural. And I understand that too, because that's how you get things done. But I do like the human aspect of it too. And
where do we place Judge Middleton in the spectrum?
Oh my gosh,
of those guys,
he's right.
He's
right under
blunt, but
he's right under Mercer in my book in terms of the softness factor. He knows everyone. So he's that makes it a little bit different.
Mercer's Middleton's he's kind of his own thing.
Yeah,
he is.
I have a hard time categorizing him with anybody because I've seen him put the hammer down, but then I've also seen him walk up to the point where he's gonna put the hammer down and then like, okay, but I'm gonna waive all your fees and give you probation and we're gonna see if you can get this right. So he's kind of all over the board, but I think it has to do with the fact that he knows everybody. So I think he is probably the best at individual justice.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's the way to put that one.
I think so. And Judge,
I would agree with that.
I remember the property. Now that you mentioned Middleton, it reminds me of that property line dispute.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
With the cemetery that was on the line too.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Oh, that was wacky. Oh.
He's kind of the perfect small town judge in that way because he's still very fair. Like even though he knows everybody, he doesn't let those relationships I think influence his decisions.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he knows everybody, so he can use like I know your family. Here's what I'm gonna do.
What do y'all think about Judge Dad and Judge Mom though?
I'd put Judge Dad kind of just below the Oakleys and O'Donnells. Like he can be blunt, but he delivers it a little differently. What the heck are you doing that for?
Well, we see him in Horderman too, in a Horderman situation, and it's kind of like, whoa,
that softness comes out.
What happened to Judge Dad? He turned soft on us, so I think he definitely has that for sure.
Yeah,
he talks tough.
Judge
but
Mom is not soft. Go ahead.
No, you're okay. I kind of cut over you. Sorry. McNally talks tough, but have we ever really seen him bring down the hammer on somebody? I can't think of a time where I've walked away going, "Oh, damn."
He's gotten pissed off.
Yeah.
But not
mad, but I've not seen him drop the hammer.
Well, and maybe that
impact his judgment.
Maybe that gives him the Judge Dad kind of vibe then.
Yeah.
Because a lot of fathers are like that. They'll yell and scream and then pat you on the head and say, "Good game." And, you move on with your life.
Yeah.
That's quite honestly kind of been my parenting style. I get more insistent with my language than I do with my actual punishment. So, because sometimes that's enough.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it. But yeah, I think I'd rather be in front of Judge Dad than Judge Mom.
Well, isn't that like when you get in trouble anyway? Definitely. Like you'd almost rather have. I know when I was growing up, if I was going to get in trouble, I'd rather have Dad than Mom. Dad was gonna bluster and put on a big, vocal storm, and then I'd walk
Oh,
away. And Mom
yeah.
was gonna do something,
Yep.
not like physical, but like there was gonna be a punishment.
Beth here in the studio is shaking her head like, hell no, the exact opposite.
Really, really.
Yeah.
No, Mom in my house is what you were scared of. Hi, Mom, love you.
Wait until your father gets home.
Yeah. Yeah, she just pointed out to me that her family was more that traditional. You just wait till your dad gets home kind of thing,
Got it.
Yep.
which
Yeah, no.
which is true.
Both sides of the family, the mom handled it and then reported back to Dad.
Michael said
Well, there
the
you
guy
go.
that pretended that he couldn't speak English, but now he lost.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
Oh,
about
that one.
one.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's when he totally lost it. When he wasted the court's time. Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
Mick DeSanto is increasingly grumpy these days.
Yeah, she is. She's kind of turning into Judge Glazer with the laser. She needs a break.
Well, when we hear
it's-
her yell Spanish, we
it's
will know that
February in
conversion is
Michigan.
complete.
She is just counting the days. Yeah. It's
Yep.
February in Michigan. She is counting the days till she's on a plane somewhere warm, and then she'll come back and it'll be better.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see
Judge
like
Glazer, I don't know what but she's already at the somewhere warm.
I think they both have burnout issues a little bit.
I
It
think
seems.
so too.
So does
Mhm.
DeSanto need one of those Glazer vacations? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah,
Maybe.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I think
know.
so. I think once she has that, I think she will be set for a while.
Or the
Perhaps.
Judge Fleischer candy stash. Just keep handing her Snickers.
There you go.
whatever works.
Just keep
So, a
handing
little
her.
while-
Have the bailiff open them or the clerk open them and just start handing them off.
You need this.
Nice.
Yeah. I like her
I
too.
like it.
Yep.
So a little while ago in the chat, Great Granny was asking about parole hearings and what does somebody have to do to be released? When is enough on their part enough? That's probably case by case too, I would say. Sometimes it's never going to be enough.
I think there are some crimes that
we kind of fiddle.
You just have to sit. You just have to sit it out. I think we've discussed too before. It's like when we've seen a concerted effort toward redemption, maybe is the word I'm looking for.
Rehabilitation, maybe too.
Yeah. Like what have you done to move past what you did, and not just wrapping yourself in the fluffy fibers of the Lord, but what have you really done?
Fibers of the Lord.
That quote came from the parole episode.
And again,
Talking about the Jesus blanket.
Fibers of the Lord.
Dan's gonna release Jesus blankets on the store next.
That when you bettered yourself
Ooh,
while
yes.
you're in there.
Yes.
Oh no! Now we're gonna make quilts.
I can do blankets. I have access to somebody for that. Why
We're
have
gonna
I
do
not
quilt.
put that together
Yeah,
yet?
Jesus blanket.
Oh man.
Bethy, design us a Jesus blanket.
But parole hearings are tough, and I know we've talked about when somebody should be released versus stay in.
Yeah.
And I agree that if they've done everything and they're to get out and they serve most of their time already, I think they should be go. But however, those that are early in to their time, like if they did something egregious and haven't done or shown they've been trying to better themselves, I think they should stay in.
Yeah. And I don't even mind them necessarily like the first time they're eligible for parole, like sitting through the parole hearing.
Yep.
I think, we've talked about oh my God, they're not even ready. They haven't done anything. But I think I like them kind of starting to take that step and sitting in front of the board and hearing them say this is what we need to see from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if they come back to that second date and it's like, okay, you told me I needed to finish this class, I need to look into this particular class, and I needed to start attending, this meeting. And I did that. I think you can then see like, hey, these are the steps I am taking to show you I am ready to re-enter society. And I think that should definitely be taken into consideration.
Am I blurred?
Yes, I'd
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
You're a little blurry. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just your
I
camera.
think it's your internet connection.
Okay.
It looks
Yep.
like you've been reduced a little bit.
Okay.
This is tough because I think, Ashley, you said something to the effect of when they've done everything they can.
Yeah,
What
and they
is that,
served most
though?
of the time. Like they've taken all
But-
the courses that they are able to take to help them, and they have good time in the prison. I think that deserves merit there because they've actually been trying.
Yeah.
And not just
But I guess-
attending, but like completing successfully. I see where she's
Yep.
going.
Yeah.
I do too. I get it. But, checking off a list does not equal redemption either. I get this is the hardest thing I think for the board is
Yeah.
they've got to take all of this data that's in front of them with they've
Mhm.
done this and they've done that,
Mhm.
but they've also got to stare into their souls.
Yeah. And we do see kind of
Yep.
that grilling, like, tell us about what you did, like why you're here and what got you into jail. And I think you have to listen to how the person, being interviewed kind of tells back the story. And if they're still like kind of disassociating from it, then yeah, you've taken the class. They're not ready, but they said like, I did this
yeah.
and then I did this.
Yeah, that's another thing.
This is where I
Admitting that
went
they've
wrong.
done wrong.
Yeah.
That's another thing. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Not even admission, contrite ownership.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
this is where I messed up, and this is where I messed up, and this is
And this is how
Yeah.
I'm going to move
Yeah.
forward. That
Yeah.
type of thing.
yeah.
That's a good
Unlike
point.
if I could go back to that moment, I would tell that girl, I'm sorry. That's not what we're looking for. It's that woman in Louisiana where she's like,
We've
Yeah,
had that one.
yeah.
Doesn't make
Yep.
sense.
yeah,
Honestly, the best parole hearing I've ever heard. But again, you got to go fiction. Shawshank Redemption when
Redemption.
Red's up for his 40 years.
yeah.
No, but it's like the
It's true, I've
perfect
seen it.
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Yep.
perfect
Seen it.
answer.
True.
He tells them, that kid who did that is gone, and if I could go back and set him straight, I would.
hmm
All that's left is this old man, so stamp your sheet and stop wasting my time.
Yeah.
It was honest,
It's a great
and in some ways more real than some of the stuff that we see when we go to
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
they're so desperate to get freedom, they start
Yeah.
putting spin on,
Yeah.
and it's not necessarily the right spin or a good spin or a tailspin.
And they call on so many people to speak during those, which
Yeah.
I get it, but how many people do you need to speak on your behalf?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. Sometimes we have a room full of people just
Yeah.
the person.
And then we have someone's
that
mom.
kind
It's
of
like,
makes
I'll take
me-
care of them. Like, okay, it's good to know mommy's gonna take care of you, but what are you gonna do to make sure?
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Like the guy today.
I
Yep.
mean, it's good to have support.
Well,
It is.
Yeah, exactly.
But-
You need support, but you also need to own your shit.
Yeah.
yep, which so many people don't do. Oh, we got 10 minutes left. I need one or two more topics, but while I'm waiting for those one or two more topics, expert testimony. How do we feel about the idea of people being paid to come in there and give their opinion, especially when it might not align with like established facts or established evidence or things like that?
Oh.
Yeah, psychologists, forensic experts, things like that. People who are paid to go to
Okay.
court and testify.
That's where you lose me. Like, this, my only job is to come to court and tell you how this person or how a person would handle this. That you lose me. I love the idea of like having a psychologist come in and give us the psychologist's take on it. I love that idea, but like a psychologist whose only job is to come in and talk to lawyers, I don't like it. I think it starts to
Very
become
famous
disingenuous.
example would be back in the OJ trial with Barry Scheck and those guys who were the DNA experts, and that was such a new thing at that time, and they were just ripping it apart on OJ's behalf.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it cost OJ millions of dollars to have those guys there.
Yeah. And
But-
yeah, Nina's right. You can always find someone to say whatever you want.
Yep.
Yeah, especially if you have enough money to throw at it.
Yep.
But
That's true.
that definitely creates a disparity in the kind of justice that you can get.
In a jury
Because-
trial, a battle of experts can certainly favor the defense because the jury starts to roll their eyes. Good point, Michael.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think if there's evidence, if there's a expert witness, it has to be something very good that they're trying to explain
Mhm.
to the
Yeah.
for instance,
Yep.
a lot of these mental disorders didn't know everything about these mental disorders
Yeah.
and things. But if you bring somebody, I can't think of an example, but trying to explain something that's knowledge, I think that might be something I wouldn't be in favor for.
Yeah.
But and to pay, I know, like for psychologists, for instance,
Yeah.
there's psychologists that have their own studies and go to court, which I'm fine for because they have their own practice, but they're doing this on the side. The ones that just go in there just for court and stuff, yeah, that's kind of weird. Great Granny says I'm glitching, so
You're a little
Yep.
glitchy,
Yeah.
but I think it's just your internet connection.
Didn't you
Got
say you
it.
were getting rain?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
Breaks your internet every time. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I don't know what you do about it to like create any kind of equality or anything like that, because if you've got somebody who's got a very specific expertise, again, to like go back to the OJ thing when DNA was all new and whatnot, there's
Yeah.
only so many of those people who know stuff, and they're not going to just show up for free.
Right.
So
I think that's what bothers me. Is like if you have a chance to either exonerate someone or put away someone who should be put away. I don't know. Maybe it's just my moral compass, but I would be willing to go in and say yes or no, and not be compensated for that. But then again, I'm only an expert in shooting my mouth off on the internet, so.
well, and you're
There
becoming
might be-
quite
there-
good at
I
that.
think-
I'm just saying,
think
Know
if
thyself.
I truly had an expertise or a talent, would I be compelled to leverage that financially? And that's a question I can't answer because, like I said, I'm doing this for free right now. So
Maybe
I don't know. We
Oh, go ahead, Dan.
go ahead, Ashley.
No. Maybe this falls on like a fixed sort of rate that is the whoever. Yeah, I don't know if there a fixed rate would work either though. I don't know. I'm brainstorming. Head, Dan.
No,
I'm trying to do that same thing, Ashley.
I get
was-
get what Lindsay's saying, but the real truth of it is that people are just not that altruistic, especially ones who have a very specialized knowledge base, because they know that they're one of few. which means in their minds they're the greatest thing since sliced bread and the hula hoop. And they're going to act accordingly because that's just human nature. That's what people do. So, you know, I get that you want to, you know, that you would hope that they would do right and do good. But at the end of the day, they're just chasing the dollar like so many others are. You know, Lindsay, I noticed you said you're doing it for free, but you also said right now.
True.
Which means you've got it in your head that, you know.
Somewhere down the line, I could be paid to shoot my mouth off on the internet.
Uh-huh. And I think you'd make a lot of money doing it, too. So we'll have a conversation later.
Doing it
Bet
like
that-
this is how a lot of them get paid. Their starts
It's true.
Yep.
are how they get found.
Beth had a question for Lindsay, but it went
Which was-
away.
Well, let
Could
me
it-
find it.
Well, to be devil's advocate, couldn't it take all of your
Yeah.
time indefinitely? What, shooting off my mouth on the internet, or being called into like being called as an expert, and therefore you should charge for it. Otherwise, you're going to spend all your time in court.
Well, either. I can tell you from personal experience that shooting off your mouth on the internet can definitely take all your time.
In court, it could absolutely take up all your time in court as an expert. And I think that becomes a line in the sand. You certainly do need to draw. That's a good point.
That in court as an expert. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no,
Well-
I had dog apocalypse happening in the living room, and I had to go break it up.
It happens. I have sleeping Ellie.
Yeah, so you guys have
Much
cute little,
calmer.
fur balls that climb on desk, and I have someone's trying to rip his brother's ear off in the living room.
Well,
They're-
that I guess would be the last question then for the day is should animal court exist and
Actually-
should we cover it here?
We should, but Michael actually had a really good question. That
All
makes-
right, then
makes
I take
one
mine
bring it
back.
What needs to be done with attorneys that aren't showing up / taking certain cases, clients seriously? We've seen Judge Stevens blast an attorney or two.
Oh.
Disbarring.
Yeah, they should
Yeah.
lose their
Barring,
license.
yep.
Disbarring.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Or at least the
And if they take
suspension.
on too much, then if they take on too much, too many cases, that's on them.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't feel like it's necessarily the public defenders we're seeing it with, because I feel like they are the ones at least that we've seen, and I maybe have a soft spot for them, but I feel like we're seeing them kind of hustle and take care of stuff, or at least making a good faith
The
effort.
the public defenders probably sleep there.
Yeah, if they sleep.
Yes, if they sleep.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. But yeah, I think yeah. So Wahoo says sanctions, probably some kind of sanction the first time or two. It's probably like a 3-strike thing,
Yeah.
something like that. But again, they're out there chasing the dollar, so they're trying to load up their days just as much
Yeah.
as they can.
I don't know if this is a thing. Sorry to cut you off, Dan, but
No, you're fine.
can certain judges say, no, I won't take a case with this particular attorney, or I don't allow this particular attorney to practice in my courtroom because I've seen X, Y, and Z? Like, is that even a thing they can do?
I'm gonna look up.
Don't know.
I don't
believe
think they
so.
can, but
Nope. I think the only one who can determine where an attorney's going is the sanction board or
okay.
whoever oversees attorney discipline,
Got it.
and
Okay.
that just means if they can practice or not in front of a
Not
certain.
where they can.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're running out of time, so perhaps we finish with this. I just Googled, can a judge refuse to hear an attorney? Yes, a judge can refuse to hear an attorney, but generally only for valid procedural reasons rather than personal whims. Judges have the authority to manage their courtroom,
Oh.
exclude irrelevant evidence, limit repetitive arguments, or exclude counsel who are not properly licensed or have significant conflicts of interest. So yeah, they could refuse them. But they
But
have
for a
to
good cause.
they have to have a reason. There has to be cause.
Mhm. Mhm.
So a procedural or behavioral issue, a judge can stop a lawyer if arguments are bad, a lack of licensing, a conflict of interest,
I can see that.
or contempt or misconduct. So
I
you could
think
remove
Judge-
an attorney for inappropriate behavior.
I think Judge Middleton had to. Was it Judge Middleton? Yeah, I think he had to go into another. Had to do a something because they're kind of what's it called? Interest, a conflict of interest there.
Conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I did see him. Remember, Dan? He had to do that Zoom call.
Yeah, he's done cases for a few different counties. That one was Kalamazoo County, the one we saw
Yeah.
most recently. But he's been called into Cass County. I think he's been called into Berrien County. And these are smaller counties in some cases where they just don't have a judge there who doesn't have a connection to somebody. So they have to bring somebody else in.
Right. Gotcha.
Middleton,
I
actually,
read
real
that.
quick before we go, Middleton said in the last day or two, I don't remember if it was on stream or not, but somebody had asked him if he ever hears felony cases. And the answer was yes. He's a district court judge, so he should only be dealing with misdemeanors. But he said that in some cases he's been assigned felony matters based on conflict of interest and stuff like that,
Makes sense.
which I thought was
Interesting.
interesting. The more you know.
Yep.
Well, it's about that time to wrap it up, guys. Austin, anything you'd like to say before we end this shindig?
This was fun. I like doing these where we don't start with a topic and we
Well,
rapid fire it. I don't know if that's the right way to say that, but
yeah.
hopefully you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I get it. Because it's a lot like In the Blind, isn't it, Lindsay? You've
It's a
done
lot
that.
like In the Blind. It's a lot like In the Blind. Which
Which is
was
just
Yeah,
a hoot
it
to do.
It is. It's a little scary for me with someone getting in myself in.
Yep.
Into, but I a little bit more. But yeah. But Lindsay and Dan are the experts, and Mike experts at thinking not on their feet. So
yeah, I was
That
going
one-
to compliment our friends in the chat. You guys came prepared tonight. These were really
yes, thank
like
you.
good questions. You made us work. Great job,
Yep.
though. Wait, great job.
So I think we've committed to doing this every last Thursday of the month.
Yes.
Yes.
So in
Yeah.
a month, we'll be back and do it again. So think of more
Yeah.
questions along the way.
Yep.
All right, guys, that's it for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific for the morning show, half an hour earlier if you're a channel member. Oh, yeah, Lindsay, blotter tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
you got to tune in for the pre-show for blotter reporter there.
Yep.
All right, guys, have a good night. Take care. God bless.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Good night.
Night, guys.